I am going to toggle now to log in into the Vena application. So here I'm logging in, first of all, as a power user. So first wanted to show the overall kind of landing page, if you will, of the Vena application. So in this example, I am a power user. So I see at the top here all the main roles of the Vena application. So the manager is what we'll first focus on, which is all things Office of Finance. Contributor, we'll take a look at. Will be for the business user, how they contribute their budget forecast or plan data. The modeler is all things data management. So this is where we manage that Vena analytical data model, as I mentioned. So your dimensions for accounts, entity, products, time periods, scenarios, currencies, and also how we will integrate with your source systems to automate the feed of data from your GL, subledger, and data warehouse systems. Insights and reports is all things, again, generating insights and analytics out of all the data that we're collecting from users and of all the data that we integrated in from your source systems. And admin was all things on that central administration side that we saw on the Vena platform slide. So managing your users, their security credentials, their policies, and things like that. So we're first going to start here in the manager view. So on the left is a way that we will organize, we will logically organize all your different business processes that you choose to bring into the Vena application. So of course, this is your core budgeting process, forecasting process, but also if you do project planning as an example, or your month-end close or account reconciliation process is heavily done in Excel today, that could be an excellent fit for the Vena application, as we're seeing here in the structure of the processes on the left-hand side. So for our example, we're going to first start here with an annual budgeting process. And here I'm going to open up my 2024 annual plan. So you can also see here in the Vena application is we're very process oriented. A process having a start, a process having an end, and in between you have all the tasks that need to be completed to complete my overall strategic planning or my reforecasting process. So those could be different steps where you need to input data, I need to review data, I need to distribute reports. I might have an activity, which is this which is this yellow block that we're seeing here, which is a sub-process. So that could be a process specific for your marketing department, and they have a bunch of steps they need to complete as an example. And also if you need to do any kind of data processing steps along the way as well, such as allocations as an example. So the first thing I wanted to show here is when we build out or design or configure this workflow that we're seeing here, it's very visual, it's very right-click, select your different step in the process, and then be able to drag and drop and connect the arrows here. That will define this collaborative workflow process. So it's a great way when you start to look at, the overall process. And today's subject is all about people, process, and technology. So being able to lay out this repeatable process, this is a great way to not only visualize how the process looks like, but you can see here at the top right, this play button, this will actually be the engine that will drive all of the end user or business user collaboration that we'll see in a moment as well. And one key thing here is if I double click, let's say, for example, on my first step to update my central rates and drivers that will drive the rest of the process. What we're seeing here again is design time. So when I first set up this workflow process, what I'm basically defining here is the who, the what, and the when. So the who are all the people that we are assigning to this step in the process. So my key owners, and these are the individuals that are ultimately accountable for this task. Who are the support workers? So people that can collaborate with the owners, but the owners ultimately are accountable. They're the ones that hit submit, approve, or reject as an example. And who are the people that are watching, providing comments, and kind of looking over the workflow statuses of these different tasks here. And finally, what are the templates that we are assigning to the step in the process? So we're going to explore the way that we interact with Excel as a contributor. But the way that we do interact with it, just at a high level here, is we are leveraging Excel very simply as our template building environment. So we leverage Excel to lay out the look and feel, the formatting, the formulas, the logic. But what we ultimately do is we take these templates and we map it to the Vena application, to the Vena database. So as an example, if you have 50 different departments in your organization today, in Vena, unlike manual Excel, you would have 50 different Excel files. In the Vena world, we just have one master Excel template that's talking to the Vena database. And as every user opens up that one single template, they will only be able to interact with their data set. Because again, Excel in our world is a window into our application, and hopefully that'll be very clear when we show you the contributor view. But here's basically where we assign. Here are all the different templates that we've already mapped to the Vena database, and we're assigning to this step in the process. And when the process is live, what you'll see here on the left-hand side is our status tracker. And the status tracker, now for the Office of Finance, when you have lots of different people who are inputting on a budget, and when we move from tactical to strategic, we of course want more users inputting data across multiple departments. So here's a great view now to see of every step we define in that visual process. Now we're in a live state. So where is everyone? Who's working on each step of the process? Have they started yet? Are they work in progress? If they have submitted, what is the review status? Has it been approved or rejected? And also here, as you can see, we can see due dates and what have you. And at the very top, it gives me an overall view of where are we in the entirety of the strategic planning process. So what percentage is complete? Everything that's not complete, I can have a breakdown of that. And on the left-hand side here, I can see where people are maybe overdue on their budget or they are near approaching their due dates as well.